All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. It is your man, RTP, Skull Gang in the building. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. What is going on here? There we go. All right. So it is Pewter and Red Podcast here on YouTube. You know the channel where we talk about my and your favorite NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, break things down, get into the vibes, football, X's and O's, all that stuff. We do it all here, man. We're going to try to have us a short stream today because I got to get to work. So we're going to try to get to, I mean, there really isn't that much to talk about. I mean, there kind of is, but you know, let's listen. First off, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, show love. Don't forget to do your job. I'm trying my hardest to bring you content every day, or I haven't put this much content out in years. I've been on YouTube since 2012. I haven't done this much content in years. So I'm trying my hardest to do my job to bring you guys some stuff, some good football, Buccaneers talk. Do your job, hit the like button. And all that stuff, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Trust me, if you're a Bucs fan, this is the channel you want to be subscribed to and notified. So hit the notification bell, make sure that's notified on all. But before we get going, let's do a little shout out real quick. Real OG in the building. Amber in the building. Jameer in the building. Finally catching the stream. What's good, my guy? Well, we're here, man. It's day 6. There's no training camp today. There was a training camp last night. I almost went live last night. I almost went live last night because I was so pumped after listening to Dave Canellis. Dave Canellis is going to be the press conference we're going to listen to today. Before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and look at the Twitter fear, or the X fear now, I guess. I don't know. Rashad in the building. Yes, we here, baby. We here. Let's get it. And listen, you guys see what the question of the day is in the chat. Answer the question. I mean, I think I didn't want to bring that question out too soon, but I think it's finally time for us to start having that question in front of us. And it's crazy because it feels like we've been like in training camp for a month at least. And it's only been 1 week, man. That's the crazy part. It's only been 1 week, which is crazy for a lot of things. But the question, we got to start putting that question up because it's time. I mean, first we had to go through the people that didn't believe that was even a question. They didn't believe that there was really a competition. We had to go through that phase. We went through it. We didn't judge. We didn't judge nobody on this channel. You know, we were screaming at the top of our lungs what we believed, or at least I was screaming at the top of my lungs what I believed, which was this is a real competition. But we wasn't calling nobody stupid for thinking it wasn't a competition. We wasn't, you know, everybody got their opinions and all that stuff. And everyone had to be honest, had their rights to believe in the opinions that they were believing in. But we had to go through that phase. We let people, go through grieving of Tom Brady in their own ways, right? That's pretty much what it was for Buck fans. And we went through that phase, and now we understand that from the last two practices, that it's a competition. It's a real legit bona fide competition. And now we go into yesterday's practice knowing that all of us, Buck Nation, Buck fans as a unit, Skull Gang, everybody, we all came into it and understood, okay, this is a real competition now. And then we had yesterday's practice. Buck One K1 Nears in the building. Just personally never been a Mayfield fan because he got the same hype as Tebow did. They were fire in college and just average quarterbacks in the pros. All right. Buck One K1 Near says, yo, finally got a notice for the stream. It's 10 a.m. in Florida, so I know it's before the early bird in the West Coast. Yes, it is 7:30 over here in the morning on the West Coast. But yes, I told you guys got to hit that notification bell and make sure it's on all, or you'll never get notified. So yes. All right. So, what were we saying? So yeah, we go into this practice knowing this is a bona fide real competition. And it's time for us to now have this question in the back of our mind. And the question is exactly what we asked in the comment section. And we asked in the comment section, it's there. If you guys are watching this live, there's actually a poll when this is live. Now that we're streaming live right now, there's a poll, and you guys, there's a question that's brought up to you when you answer it, and it takes a percentage of the poll. And the question is, I'll look at it right now. The question is, who do you think wins QB1? And it's split. It's Trask 57%, Mayfield 43%. And that poll is going to continue to tally as people come in the comment section and answer the question. So that's one of the benefits, one of the great things of coming in here and watching the show live, the Pewter and Red podcast live, is you guys get to interact with each other. You guys do the poll. So that's what's going on right now in the comment section. But also, if you're watching this and it's not live, go ahead and answer it in the comment section right now. Who do you think is going to win? Now that you're starting to hear things, now that some of you guys probably went to camp, starting to see for your own self, who do you think is going to win this quarterback one competition? And it's okay to give your opinion now. We know we have no idea right now. It's still too early. But what is your feeling now? So go ahead and answer that in the comment section. But that's the question now we have to have in the back of our head. And again, it could be different for other people, but for me, this is not I hope that Kyle Trask wins so I can say I was right. I don't care about being right on this channel. I don't care about being wrong on this channel. I care about the team being good. I'd rather be wrong and the team be good than be right and the team be bad. I would rather be right and the team be good at the same time, right? So, but that's the main objective of this channel. So we go into today's practice, and we're going to get into what Dave Canella says, because I think it's important to go and listen to that. And that's going to be the only thing that we see today, because we're going to try to cut this short. But Todd Bowles did a press conference after the practice, and which was kind of the same thing. Right now, Todd Bowles is keeping everything to the chest. He's not really answering a lot of questions. And I know the reporters and the media hate that, but I love it. I always felt like the Bucs, we do too much coverage. Now, I love it for me in training camp because I get to get coverage and we get to break stuff like this down. But I always hated it that we had so many shows and so many things that's like asking so many questions. I feel like, bro, everybody in the NFL is like, oh, okay, I'm taking notes too. Because if I can do it and I can start understanding things about the team, best believe other head coaches in the NFL could. And as you know, in the Patriots and Belichick and all that, they play everything to the vest. They don't like to let nobody know nothing. They don't answer no questions. And the media has to take it because it's Belichick. But over here in Tampa, the media gets mad at certain people. They like to not answer questions, and then all of a sudden they want to fire them. because they're not getting nothing from them. So and if you guys haven't noticed that, again, we talk about everything here on this channel. We break everything down. If you guys haven't noticed that, I'm letting you guys know that now. Pay attention to that now. The media, half of the beat writers that cover the Buccaneers aren't even really Buck fans. So pay attention to that first and foremost. Most of the media that cover the Buccaneers want a story. They don't care about the team being good. They don't care about asking a story that'll break up the locker room or writing a story that'll mess up the chemistry. They don't care about none of that. They just want the best story that they can have. And because of that, when they end up with a coach on the coaching staff, listen to me now, I'm dropping bombs. When they end up with a coach in the coaching staff that doesn't like to express or say what everything and open up the playbook and say, look, this is what we're doing. They frown on it. They don't like when coaches put everything to the chest and then they try to get rid of it because they want a coach that's going to be out there and open. And they don't care about a coaching wheel that's going over and over and over another coach and bringing in another coach. And they don't care about that. They don't care about a coach carousel. They don't care if the Bucs are in limbo. They don't care if, if we just trash year after year because it's good stories. And let's be honest, a lot of Buck fans like to hear the negative, and it's a lot more clicks, a lot more reading, all that stuff. So, there's a lot more clicking. There's a lot of more reading the articles when there's a new head coach or a new coordinator that comes in, and you want to know as much as possible about that coordinator or that head coach, right? So guess what? That gives them more clicks because now they get to bring out new articles about a new coach or a new toy or whatever. They like that. So that's why you guys got to take things that some of these people say with a grain of salt, because sometimes they're just trying to set up a coach and get them fired. So I say all that to say that, listen, we go into practice today and we got Seth Alexander in the building. He says Baker is going to win. I hear you. We're going to talk about it some more. So we go into today's practice. And let's just get into, let me see if I can catch up real quick. First things, I'm okay whoever wins, but I do hope Trask wins and is good only because he is a second-round pick, okay? Cali Bucks in the building. Let's be honest, this competition is going to come down to preseason games. Yes, it is. I completely agree with you. But let's go ahead and get into the Twitter sphere. Let's see what we got here. We got going. Some good throws. So just some drills warming up. We got some more drills here. What we like to do is wide receivers. What we like to do is we like to go through the Twitter and see. I like all the posts on Twitter as training camp is going. People post videos, people post their thoughts of what they're seeing in training camp, and I like them all. That way, when I go live, we get to go through all of them and watch them again and see what they were tweeting. This time I was not driving, sorry. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and look at all these. So we go through them, we break anything down that we want to break down, and then we talk about practice, and then we get the press conference, and we break that down. Linebackers practicing on the fumbles. All right. Good stuff. And right away it gets going. Nice long touchdown grab by rookie Trey Palmer. But this is not 11-on-11s by Trask. This is just these are just one-on-ones, wide receivers versus the corner. One-on-ones. Trask threw a nice touchdown pass. Wide receivers and cornerbacks going head-to-head on one-on-ones right now. Kyle Trask just hit Trey Palmer on a nice deep ball during low in coverage. Baker Mayfield just dropped one right into Rachaad White with Servasier Dennis in coverage. Once again, these are one-on-ones. Chase Edmonds just cooked KJ Britt in one-on-ones. Then Mike Evans got the better of Zion McCollum. So Zion has been running with the ones. Carlton Davis is banged up right now. He has a bruised shoulder, so they're just kind of like letting him sit on the side and just get his shoulder right. That way he don't continue to bruise that shoulder, because the season's going to start soon. So they're just going to pretty much let him get rid of that bruise and then just monitor him. Baker Mayfield with a nice deep ball to Chris Godwin, who beat Jamel Dean for a touchdown. Lively one-on-one period so far. Offense was definitely getting the best of the defense today. Palmer with another touchdown in one-on-ones, having a nice day. Bucks are alternating this, but Trask working with the first line today as they open 11 on 11. So Trask wasn't with the ones yesterday, the last practice, but in this practice yesterday, he was with the ones. Kyle Trask is working with the starters as the team begins 11 on 11. He's looking to build on 2 really good practices in a row. All right, Trask to Godwin and Evans over the middle on back-to-back plays. Both he and Mayfield have been developing their connections with the Bucks' top 2 wide receivers early in camp. Now, I believe these are the 11 on 11 starting right now. And then as Baker comes up right away, once again, Keenan Isaac intercepts Baker Mayfield in 11 on 11s. Ball was intended for David Moore. Right away, Baker throws another interception. So this has been, I don't think he's gone one day in training camp without an interception. Let's go real quick to a working man's perspective in the building. Finally catches a live stream. He says Kyle Trask has made a dang good name for himself, and I am happy, but that's just the beginning. I hope he knows that and don't become complacent. Listen, when your whole life you've been the backup, and this is why one of the reasons why I do like Trask, another one of the reasons why I do like Trask, and not only that, but also I think another reason why he won't start, which is a weird reason. I'm kind of a conspiracy guy as well, and you guys will learn that as you guys stay with this channel. But one reason why I don't think he'll ever be complacent is because he literally from high school to college was always not the guy. He was never the guy. He always had to work to be the guy. He had to do that in high school, in college. He was the backup. He had to work and let somebody get hurt and then come in and be the guy to be the guy. So I'm thinking like, this is why even if Baker was to win the starting job, I wouldn't, if Baker and Trask were kind of close and Baker ends up winning out, right? I was still not down on Trask, because I felt like even in the NFL, it might be the same thing. He's not the starter, but then someone gets hurt and then he comes in and now it's his team. It's been his whole career, his whole football career. So, when you've been not the guy, it's not hard. It's not easy to be complacent. It's going to be hard. He's not going to be complacent. Rashad says, sure, you weren't driving, cough, cough. Still giving him a hard time about liking posts while driving. Hello. I hear y'all. Okay, so let's continue. Keenan Isaac just intercepted Baker Mayfield on 11 on 11s. John Wolford with a nice strong throw to Tay Barber over the middle of the field. And John Wolford had a good practice today too. Wolford follows up with a nice throw to Raheem Jarrett down the sideline for big gain. Jarrett beat Duran Lowe on the play. Nice breakup by rookie Chris Izian on a Trask pass for Godwin in end of zone in red zone work. So at this point, well, not yet. But yeah, so now sounds like they're doing red zone work. Dave Canella says he noticed. Okay, no, we're not talking about that yet. Mayfield finds rookie tight end Payne Durham in the middle for touchdown in red zone work, then follows with a back corner throw to rookie receiver Tay Barber for another touchdown. So let's keep track on that, because I forgot to keep track on how many touchdowns Baker Mayfield threw. So that's 2 touchdowns right there from red zone. It doesn't sound like Trask threw any touchdowns. Peter said in 7-on-7, Baker Mayfield recovers from a near interception with back-to-back touchdowns, one to Payne Durham and another to Tay Barber. So that's the same one that Greg was talking about, but before that, he almost threw another another interception. So again, putting it in, and people listen. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, stats. I'm gonna count that as a stat, but it is because this is putting the ball in harm's way. Like if he's not throwing an interception because our guys are not catching them, and our guys just happen to really be catching them, it's really um, more likely that our defense is catching the interceptions than dropping them, but we have had some drops. But if I hear that our guys should have caught it and it was a drop, I'm whether you want to count it as an interception or count it as putting the ball in harm's way, I'm counting it because that's what's important. Third string quarterback John Wolford back-to-back goal line touchdown throws to rookie tight end Tanner Taula. Offense humming a bit. Now a touchdown to rookie Sean Tucker. So that's 2 for him, 2 for Baker. Wolford with 1 more touchdown to rookie running back Ronnie Brown. Offense dominated that period. That sounds like 3 touchdowns for Wolford. Red zone period underway as Kyle Trask hits Mike Evans for a 20-yard touchdown. Josh Hayes broke on the ball, but it snuck by him to Evans, who dunks through the goalpost. Again, we keep hearing, when we hear things like that, like Josh Hayes broke on the ball, but it snuck by him, or he put it past Servassier. These are the opposite of hearing something that like, almost picked type of stuff. These are plays that I like to hear because it sounds like, especially when you talk about Trask as being a rookie or a second-year guy, or third-year guy technically, right? That he's starting to understand the windows. He's starting to feel the speed of NFL players running by and being able to zip the ball by them. He's starting to learn. He's starting to, it seems more and more we're getting more of plays where it's just Servassier just missed it. Evans just missed it. Like it's not like he just missed it and it was an incompletion. No. He just missed it and it was a completion. So he's zipping these balls by these guys, and this is what you want to hear. These are good things that little good pluses that you want to hear. Greg says Trask back out and connects with Mike Evans for a touchdown in the red zone. That might have been a play that we heard already. That's the only hard part about this is it's hard to tally because we don't exactly know what plays are over the same play or a different play. End of the Trask reps in red zone saw JTS get to him for a would-be sack. So JTS would have had a sack there to end Trask's red zone reps. As Mayfield steps in, it's Yaya Diaby who came in for a would-be sack. So it's back-to-back sacks, which Trask, his last red zone play, Trask would have got sacked by JTS. So he steps off of the field. Baker Mayfield comes in, and then he makes his rep, and boom, Yaya Diaby's about to sack him. So back-to-back sacks for the defense. Yaya Diaby, JTS. Listen, that's gonna be a nice battle right there. That might be one of the battles that we're not expecting. And listen, as much as I would, I almost said as much as I would hate for it to be a battle because I do love JTS, right? I do think his ceiling is high. Yaya Diaby is really coming in well-rounded already. He's coming in well-rounded already, and he might be a factor already. So that might be a sneaky in the background, battle that we're not paying attention to, but we might end up paying attention to when the preseason's coming to an end. You get what I'm saying? So, and if that's the case, that's good. That's good. You know what I'm saying? I look at this as Antoine Winfield and Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards came in and he was a ball hawk. We seen him as a ball hawk. You know, the ball finds him. He makes plays. He can do everything. He can play. He can cover a tight end. He can be a ball hawk in the backfield. He can step into the box. Same thing as Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield's a ball hawk. He can step into the box. He can cover one-on-one. Same thing. But Antoine Winfield seemed to came to us a little bit more well-rounded. He was a little bit more polished when he came to the Bucs as a rookie than Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards had a few things that he really had to work on to get to be on the field. When he first came to us, he was kind of in and out of the lineup because he was kind of a disaster trying to tackle people taking the wrong angles on the field. I think that this is the same thing with Yaya and JTS. JTS can do everything Yaya. Yaya can do everything JTS. In different ways, JTS is more strength. JTS is more speed. Yaya is more strength. So they do it differently, but they basically can do the same thing. But it kind of seems like Yaya came with us a little bit more polished. So this could be even though no one's talking about it, everyone's pretty much saying JTS, you got to show us you could be a starter, which is very true. But I think the time frame just got a lot more shorter, and this got a lot more harder for JTS because I think Yaya might be more on his heels than we know. Now it's just 1 week, but this is the things that I'm feeling. This is the things I'm kind of hearing. We will see when preseason starts if that is something that might manifest. We'll see. Walford with one more red zone touchdown in traffic to Devin Tompkins. I was hearing a lot of Warford name, man. I'm not gonna lie. He had a heck of a practice. Devin Tompkins with the great route in 11 on 11, and Kyle Trask finds him for a sizable gain. Kyle Trask getting Tompkins. Tompkins is looking nice. On a rollout to his right, Trask completes a pass to David Moore, who makes a sliding grab. Nice run by Chase Edmonds in 11 on 11, getting to the far sideline for a good gain. Jarrett with a diving catch for another gain from Trask, moving offense down the field. Little Trask trickeration finds Raheem Jarrett down the field on a flea flicker. He has looked really sharp with the ones in this 11 on 11 period. Okay, a little flea flicker. That's cool. The hit on White stalled a really sharp drive for Trask, moving offense to the goal line before they settled for a short McLaughlin field goal. So this Trask was going for a touchdown to finish his what was it? I don't know if this was a 2-minute drill. No, it's just 11 on 11s, 11 on 11 drives. And he was, I don't know if he was checking it down to White or what it was, but it was for a touchdown, and White got hit and the ball came out. There was a little fight, a little scuffle after that. But yeah, I believe that was the play. I could be wrong. Could have been another play. Kyle Trask 11 on 11 drive ended in Chase McLaughlin's field goal. Baker Mayfield is now on. Nearly another pick by Isian. Can't hold on as he breaks up a pass on third down. So Kyle Trask comes in for his 11 on 11. What Kyle Trask just did. Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, his drive ended at the goal line, where they ended up kicking a field goal. Kyle Trask comes in for his 11 on 11. He ends up almost getting picked again for the third time. So this is the second time he put the ball in harm's way, and he already had a pick. So that's 3 times he put the ball in harm's way. One was a pick. 2 of them, they just got dropped. And says right here, Mayfield drives ends in a 3 and out. Had a ball batted down at the line on second down before Christian Isian dropped an interception on third down. Looks like Mayfield will get another go. So after Kyle Trask drives down the field on 11 on 11s, ends up getting a field goal. They were on the goal line, and Kyle Trask dropped it down to White, or hit it in the flat to White, but then got rocked and drops the ball. And I'm believing this is the play that people were talking about that ended up in a scuffle, which makes sense because, as a player, you're not preparing to get hit right now. You know what I'm saying? You're just preparing to, get like, okay, I would have blocked you or whatever. You're not preparing to get rocked. And supposedly Rachaad White got rocked and it ended up in a scuffle. Everybody started fighting. But after that, that's what killed Kyle Trask's drive, which could have ended up in a touchdown, or, they probably would have said, oh, touchdown, because they probably would have bounced off of him. If he didn't try to rock him, he probably would have bounced off of him or whatever, and then ran for a touchdown, and then they would have been like, oh, it was a touchdown. But after that, Mayfield gets on the field. I don't know what happened with the first down, but then second down, the ball gets batted down at the line. This is the same thing that happened last time, where it got batted at the line. It went up in the air. Yaya Diaby got the interception. That was like 2 practices ago, or the last practice. I don't know. Same thing happens, but the ball falls on the ground. So now it's third down. Third down, he throws another throw, and it gets intercepted. So that's 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions and 2 other passes. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It didn't get intercepted. It was dropped. So it's the same. It's still one interception and two plays where it was thrown in harm's way. But they end up putting Baker Mayfield back out there because it was a 3-and-out. You want him to get some work, so you put him back out there again for another try. So he goes back out there, and Devin Tompkins just made an absolute incredible catch on a deep ball from Baker Mayfield, soared through the air and brought it down with two defenders in coverage. Here we go again. This is what we keep talking about, and I keep bringing this up. It seems like the biggest play is always Baker Mayfield. And the problem that I'm having with that is every time we hear about this bigger play, it's Baker Mayfield just chucking it. And it seems like after Baker Mayfield goes 3-and-out, Baker's in his mind like, I got to get something, bro. I'm not looking. It seems like Baker's panicking. Like he's not panicking because of the D-line or anything like that. But it feels like the pressure of the quarterback competition is getting to him. Like if he's like, I went 3-and-out, this is not looking good, bro. I got to catch up to Trask. So he's just like, I got to have a big play or something. And he just throws it down the field, and Devin Tompkins goes up with two people on him and two defenders in coverage and comes down with the ball. Now, obviously, that's great for our wide receivers because we get to see what Devin Tompkins looks like on one-on-ones. We get to see what Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, what they look like with jump balls. Like, hey, what happens if we just throw it up? Hey, we're seeing it in training camp. You know what I'm saying? Baker's throwing it up. They're coming down with it. So we get to see that. That's great. But as far as a quarterback, as far as breaking down the quarterback, to a lot of fans, this might be like, yeah, Baker's the only one that throws big plays. This is why I want Baker to start. I guarantee you, though, to the coaches, they're looking at this like he's not really going through his progressions. He's not using the offense. He's just trying to get a big play. Like, I guarantee you when they're watching the tape, they're looking at it like, it's great that it's a big play, but I know why he's taking that shot. He's took that shot because he didn't have to take that shot. First of all, he could have hit this right here that was going to be open, and the play was meant to be open right here, but he decided to take a shot for someone who was covered by two different people again. Like, I can guarantee you if that's the case, that the coaches are not like happy about it. They're kind of just like, all right, it is what it is. And then let's see if I can see this real quick because that's the end of the likes. But I have, let's see, a thing here by Joe Bucks fan. Let's see if I can find it. I was supposed to save it, and I forgot to like it, to save it. It shouldn't be hard to find, though. Where are you at? Here it is. That's the Todd Bulls. Here it is right here. Baker losing ground. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we're just going to read the part that I'm talking about. Okay, Joe gets that some fans are glued to social media on various corners of the internet that offer nuggets from practice. Much of it is misdirection because the defense doesn't get to come after the quarterback full force. That reached a fever pitch last night with all kind of good plays by the offense not really being good plays. Perhaps the greatest example was Mayfield's throwing a bomb to Devin Tompkins. He's talking about the play we were just talking about, that he skied for and pulled in. Great catch about 45 yards downfield. However, Mayfield had a guy in his face that put his hands down, sort of self-hugging, to avoid hitting Mayfield in any way. Mayfield got a bit of a hip tap anyways on the throw, which was just evidence of how badly he would have been crushed if football was real. So that's true. If the guy was able to touch your hip, like if the guy was able to like kind of bounce off your hip, that means like if it was real football, his hands would have been at you a lot sooner. So this is just some of the things that I'm talking about that, it sounds good that he's having the biggest plays, but a lot of it is him just kind of like even taking sacks, but I'm just waiting for him to get open. I don't care. I need to get a big play. It just seems like he's forcing that. It's not really within the offense. And a lot of Trask, that's been the biggest downfall of Trask, is from which is funny because from fans, from people reporting training camp, the biggest downfall of Trask has been he doesn't have as many big plays as Baker. But the crazy part is that's kind of been the praises of the coaches, which is he's using the offense. He's taking what the defense gives him. And here's the thing. Our defense are not slouches. You know what I'm saying? This is a really good defense. If you're not, taking bombs 24/7 against this defense, that's not too bad because this is a Todd Bowles defense. We do got Antoine Winfield out there. We do got Ryan Neal out there. They will pick it off. The most important thing is not putting the ball in harm's way. And that's the thing when they went in press conference with Todd Bowles, that's basically what he said about Kyle Trask. The number one job is to not turn over the ball, and Kyle Trask is not putting the ball in harm's way. He might be methodically driving down the field, which I love. I don't know. Well, I know some of my day ones know from my other channel when before the Brady era was over, I said the number one thing I would love, because I was so mad at Brady because Brady would not throw down the field. He would not throw down the field last year. He just wouldn't. Everything was short. But because of that, we started seeing a lot of defenses play cover one. We started seeing a lot of defenses staying in the box, trying to stop everything short. Mike Evans, for the first time, said that the Saints were playing a lot of cover one. The Saints have never played cover one against Mike Evans since Dennis Allen's been there, since Sean Payton's been there, and Mike Evans has been there. They never leave Mike Evans one-on-one. The only times they left Mike Evans one-on-one was a few times where Fitzpatrick was our quarterback, and they didn't like, it's Fitzpatrick. Leave him one-on-one. If he beats us over the top, Fitzpatrick still got to hit him. And guess what? Fitzpatrick had a day because he hit him a lot over the top. They never leave Mike Evans one-on-one. That's the Saints' cardinal rule defensively. Do not cover two all day. We do not leave Mike Evans one-on-one. And last year, against us, they left them one-on-one, and Brady couldn't hit it. Brady couldn't hit Scotty Miller because of the arm situation. The game that we had against the Panthers, where Mike Evans had a 3-touchdown game, they didn't believe Brady could hit it, and even when Brady hit it, they said, okay, he got lucky. And Brady hit it again, and they said, okay, I doubt he hits it again, and he hit it again. So that's why teams never leave one-on-one. But last year, because Brady kept killing teams underneath, a lot of teams started playing a lot of cover one because Brady couldn't hit the ball over the top, and teams started seeing that. So when I realized that, I said, you know what? Not going to lie, I would love for Kyle Trask to understand right here, or for Byron to be telling Kyle Trask, hey, you notice that how they're playing so much cover one is because Brady's eating up everything underneath. He's eating up everything underneath. And you understand how everybody is just wide open down the field. We know why it's not being executed, but do you see this is why defense is leaving everything down the field, because Brady's eating up everything. So in my mind, I was hoping what, I would love for Trask to do that, to understand that process of, if I eat them up underneath, I'm going to force them to play cover one. And once I force them to play cover one, it's going to be bombs down all day. And here's the thing that has me excited, because we're already seeing Kyle Trask eating up everything underneath. Carlton Davis twice in two different interviews has already talked about it, how Kyle Trask is taking everything the defense gives you. We're reading article after article after article. We're seeing tweets after tweets. Kyle Trask moving the ball down the field. They're in goal line now. Kyle Trask from 11 on 11, starting back there, moves the ball down the field. They got all the way down the field. Kyle Trask going all the way down the field. We're reading articles and articles, and it's not always dink and dunk. We're hearing, like today, we heard a couple of good chunks, 15-yard, 20-yard plays. We're hearing good chunks there as well, but he's taking what the defense gives you, slowly going down there. Now, the thing that has me so hyped is because I like to flip the other side of the coin, right? I like to be negative as much as positive because I want to make sure I have everything in my sight. So the negative part would be, well, what if we just got to check down Charlie? What if we just got to check down Charlie at quarterback with Trask? Here's the beautiful part. We have Dave Canellis. We've heard Dave Canellis so many times say that He's hearing. Okay, let's take that shot. So even if Kyle Trask is a check down Charlie, there's going to be a time where Dave is watching and seeing, Trask is eating them up. Look, they're cover one. Look, they cover one again. Yo, they're staying in cover one. Hold on. And the next time Trask comes to the sideline, all right, listen, they're staying in cover one. Or, hey, every third down, they're in cover one. So this is what we're going to do. Or first down, they're in cover one. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the shot. You get what I'm saying? So even if Trask is a check down Charlie, and I'm not saying he is, I'm just flipping the other side of the coin because that's what we got to do here on this channel to make sure that we're not blindsided. We go into the season and be like, oh, I didn't think he was a check down Charlie. Well, yeah, we talked about it here on the Pewter and Red podcast. So even if he is a check down Charlie, it's okay because we have an offensive coordinator like Dave Canellis that's going to bring him in the sideline and be like, hey, listen, I've been watching. Look at the tablet. Every third down, they're in cover one. Every first down, they're in cover one. Let's hit him with this play down the sideline. And it's gonna be for Trask to be like, all right, cool. This is what the play is. We're not running a play that this is what the defense gives me and I'm checking it down. No. This play is made to take the shot. So let's run the play and I'm gonna take the shot. So we're gonna be covered no matter what. Let's get to some of these comment sections real quick. A working man's perspective says the fact that a number one draft pick who is a veteran can't beat an unproven guy convincingly and easily should be telling, oh, how average and overhyped Baker is. I don't believe in him at all. Okay. All right. Seth in the building. Seth says, you a Baker hater. I'd rather he get all the interceptions out of the way in practice. He will see who comes out on top in preseason. We will see who comes out in preseason. But here's the thing, and I wonder if you're the same guy. Let me see something. Hold on. You might just be the same guy that I was talking to on Twitter. Let me see. Am I? No, I'm not on the right. Hold on 1 second. Because you just made me think of something. Oh, no. Okay. So there was another guy that basically was trying to say that, hey, it's okay that Baker's throwing interceptions and this and that. And he posted some article or something like that saying, hey, quarterbacks like to throw interceptions. They have to test what they can do. You guys know I've said it before. I said it when Kyle Trask was doing it. I said, as a quarterback, you want to test your limits, who you can throw the ball past, the limits of the windows of the NFL. You want to see how fast the NFL players are now. Like, can you zip it by them? Can you fit it in that window? You want to test your arm, see what windows you can fit it in and stuff like that. So this guy brought that to me and was like explaining why Baker was throwing interceptions. And I said, listen, when it comes to Kyle Trask, I understand that more because Kyle Trask doesn't have any reps. Kyle Trask doesn't have any experience playing in the NFL. So I do understand that concept when you talk about Kyle Trask. I understand it when you talk about all quarterbacks, to be honest, but that point is less effective when you talk about someone who's been playing in the regular season for 4 years and has playoff experience. It shouldn't take you these many days to start understanding how fast people are or, okay, can I fit it in this window? You're a veteran. It shouldn't take you that long. The other point is this. There is a difference, right? There is a difference between, today I'm going to try this out or whatever, and not being able to put together one day without throwing an interception. So every day you have to test to see what you can do, your limits. Shouldn't there be a day where it's like, okay, I tested my limits yesterday. Today I'm going to try to be as perfect as possible. I'm going to try to do everything, try to not throw no interceptions and try. So he hasn't been able to not throw an interception. He hasn't had one day where he didn't have a turnover. So there has to be a time when you're like, okay, today we're going to be perfect today, right? My other point is this. There is a difference of we don't have a Baker Mayfield and we just drafted Kyle Trask. For instance, Bryce Young, right? As much as I don't want to say this because I don't want to give Panther fans any hope or anything like that, but Bryce Young, number one draft pick, he's the starter. They already named him the starter. Ain't no backups. Go out there and you force however many picks as possible. Go Go ahead, test your arm, test the limits of your arm, see what you can do. You've never played in the NFL. Go ahead. Every day, if you throw an interception, it is what it is. You might be testing your limits on this route. You might be testing your limits on that route. It's fine. Go ahead. You need to get as much reps as possible, make as many mistakes as possible. Go ahead. There's a difference between that and you're in a quarterback competition. You're in a quarterback competition. Now isn't the time to be taking chances and throwing interceptions when the head coach and the offensive coordinator said the biggest part of this competition is who doesn't turn the ball over. That's the number one thing. Right now is not the time for you to be testing and so you're not looking good right now. But I will say this, again, flipping the other side of the coin. I'm not going to, if I see an argument for the other side, I'm going to bring it to you. I see the argument on the other side. Okay, it's practice. If he doesn't throw an interception in preseason, that's better. Throw all the interceptions while in practice. But once in preseason, if he doesn't throw an interception in preseason, then what does it matter if he threw interceptions in practice? Okay, so that's the part where we have to back up and say, okay, you're right. You're right. It is, when it's all said and done, it is practice. It is practice. But let me flip that again. If he goes through preseason and he doesn't throw an interception, and because again, that could be versus who knows what defense they have, how they look, how good that defense is in preseason. And again, it is preseason. And here is my biggest worry, because it happened last year with the Panthers. You know, in preseason, the defense is not going to go out there and show the rest of the NFL their real packages and their real schemes and stuff like that. They're going to go out there and play vanilla defense. Baker last year with the Panthers went in preseason and lit it up in preseason to the point where I said to Panther fans, you know what? Hey, Baker, I ain't going to lie. You might have had one. Baker looks nice out there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Preseason, vanilla defense, went out there, lit it up, and then the regular season started. Teams started the schemes. Teams started playing their real defense, started scheming against Baker, and he didn't look the same. So that's my biggest fear is Baker goes out there, lights it up, does, it's easy. He's a starter. He played in the playoffs before. He has 4 years under his belt. He's not boo-boo, So he goes out there and he lights up a easy, two easy vanilla defenses. Okay. And maybe Trask goes out there and throws a pick. Again, it's a preseason game. He needs all the reps he can get. Maybe Trask goes out there and throws again and throws a pick. So it's saying something, but not really though, because he's a veteran. And the other thing is, if Trask goes out there, looks good, doesn't throw a pick, and Baker goes out there, looks good, and doesn't throw a pick, what are they going to do? Well, they're both here and there. You know what they're going to go to? Let's go back to practice. Baker was the one that was throwing pick in practices. And practices are going to be a lot more, they're going to carry a lot more weight. If Baker can't completely separate himself in preseason, where it's like, oh yeah, Baker, okay, now we see Baker's a starter and Trask is not a starter. If Baker can't do that in preseason, they're going to go, and it's like, oh, they're going to go to the practices. And then who's going to win that? Trask. So I see everybody's point. Got to try to hurry this up. Big Al in the building. Real quick, guys, if you haven't yet, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Show the channel love. You guys got to do your part for the algorithm. Make sure that that's happening. We need a little bit more likes. So if you're here and you haven't hit that like button, do your part, please, and hit that like button. Let's see. We got, who do you think wins the quarterback? Who is QB1? It's Trask at 54%, and Mayfield is still at 46%. That's where it's at right now. Big Out in the building says, yo, what's up, RTP? At work, right? Trying to get some of this Bucs news from you. Cuter and red till I'm cold and dead. You know what time it is. We are safe for work and family friendly, so you can play us in the background while you're working. We ain't no cussing unless, it's the NFC South roundtable. We get a little crazy and people start cussing. So, uh, warning for you guys for that. But when it's just me, guys, we're safe for work, family friendly. You can put us in the radio, put us on your aux when you're taking the kids to work. It's family friendly and safe for work. Seth Alexander says Baker has a better arm than Trask. We'll see in preseason. Big Al says, I'd rather win games with death by 1,000 cuts than lose with big plays down the field. Hashtag Red Cobra. All right. Seth says, whoever wins, it's a win-win regardless. Iron sharpens iron. I just believe in Baker. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Cali Buck says he's throwing more interceptions because he's short. It's harder for him to see the field and for receivers to see him in the pocket. I hope Trask is better because he is tall. Yeah, I mean, that definitely, when we saw Servassier Dennis intercept that ball, you could barely see Baker. So, yeah, that was definitely a thing. I would rather be wrong about Trask and have a taller quarterback. I hear you on that. Darius Miller in the building says Baker has the arm talent and moxie that everyone loves, but the problem is he thinks he can make throws that a quarterback like Trask has been conditioned not to throw sitting behind Brady. I like those takes. I like those takes. Busy Beats in the building. Busy Beats says people put too much stock in quarterback height, waste time looking into that. Some of the great quarterbacks are under 6'5". Well, that's a good point. Drop a bomb for that. Real OG says, just saw the Baker bomb to Devin Tompkins, and that was all Devin. It was amazing contested catch. Where did you see that? Because I want to see it. Where did you see that at? So, listen. So we talked about the practice. We went over the practices, right? We broke some things down. Let me know, OG, where you saw that at. If you could put the link in the comment section or something to it, I would love to see that. But Brady is 6'5". But we talked about what went on, what we heard from training camp, right? Todd Bowles came after the training camp was over. He was a little heated about the hit by Rachaad White that I forgot what the guy's name was. Some linebacker. He hit Rachaad White. He hit him really hard, jarred the ball loose, which I'm not mad at it. I mean, I would have to see it, because if Rachaad White was nowhere near like the first down or the goal line, or I mean the touchdown, then I would probably be upset. Like, bro, you got to be smart. But if it was like a bang bang play where he was about to get the touchdown and the defense's goal is to stop a touchdown from happening, you can't be mad of his instincts kicking in of, oh, he's about to get the touchdown and actually hit him, boom, and jar the ball loose. You can't be too mad about that. Darius says, I think Baker is going to win a starting job, but will be on a short leash by week 5, the bye week. I think they'll give Trask the opportunity to start against the Lions the following week. That is honestly what I really think is going to happen. That's what I honestly think is going to happen. And it's because I do, like we said earlier about Baker and the preseason, I think Baker is going to look way better in preseason than he's looking right now in practice. And I think it's going to give him enough boost because he's a starting caliber. He's a starting, I don't want to say starting caliber. He's a starting quarterback. He started before in the league. And I think it's going to give him enough momentum to start in week 1. I think it's going to. And obviously I won't be happy about it, because if I think they're the same, I want to go with Trask, because I think Baker Mayfield should easily be better than Trask in preseason, because it's going to be vanilla defenses. But then when the regular season starts, I think he's going to get eaten up. That's how I feel right now. I'm not saying that he will, but that's how I feel right now. I think he's going to get eaten up. And I think like we talked about earlier, Darius, we said that, or at least I said that I think what has been going on for Trask his entire football career, it would just be poetic justice for it to continue in his NFL career, which is he wasn't the guy in high school. He ended up being the guy. He wasn't the guy in college. Homeboy got hurt. He ended up being the guy after that. I think it's going to happen again in the NFL. It would just be poetic justice, right? For exactly what you just said to happen. Baker wins the starting job. Bye week, we end up going with Trask. Trask comes out, and I'll be excited. Trask comes out, and now he's the guy, and he ends up being what we're like, okay, we like. So I'm with you, Darius, big time. I'm with you. CP G in the building. Another Carolina guy says Drew Brees was 5'10" and statistically is a top 3 quarterback of all time. Saints still suck, though. I agree with that completely, all the way down to the Saints still suck. Real OG says it was an Instagram post. Any idea on how I can send it to you? No. Through Instagram? No, I don't really do Instagram. Brandon says, Brandon Boyer, Randall. I mean, can you copy the link and then send it in the comment section? You can't copy the link of the Instagram and send it through the comment section. Brandon Boyer Randall. What is Brandon Boyer? Oh, that was the linebacker that you're talking about. Yeah. Callie says Brady has shown why a taller quarterback in the pocket is better. I'm not going to argue about that. The first 4 games are kind of gauntlet. Cali Bucks, if it's close, a tie will go to the veteran. Yes, it will. LL in the building. LL, man. Shout out to LL. Salute, man. When are you gonna hit that like button? Don't forget. When are you gonna show some cowboy content, man? We need some cowboy content. Enough of that TTC stuff, man. Bring that cowboy content, bro. I need a cowboy fan. When if I don't know if we play the Cowboys this year, but if we do, I need a cowboy fan. I need you to have some cowboy content, though. We need cowboy content. Let's get it. Darius says, I think the plan by design, which light they know Trask is one of the grinders who you have to put obstacles in front of. You know, that's a great point. Drop a bomb for that. That's a great point. That's a great point, Darius. That is a great point. And you might be 1,000% right. You might be 1,000. That kind of got me excited. Pause. You might be right. You might be right with that. Season starts soon. Gary in the building. You're really gonna have Trask start first game of the season in that loud Viking stadium. Here's the thing, I hear you guys on that, but here's the thing: the Vikings defense is not good. Now, I will say this: they should be better this year because they drafted some pieces. They got some pieces. They should be better this year, but we all know. Even if you got a good defense, that first year together, because again, they're going to be young. It's a young defense. That first year together, it's going to take some time for them to gel. So even though offensively they're good, offensively is going to be a challenge for our defense. But defensively, they're going to go through some bumps and bruises. So I don't know if that Vikings game for Trask is going to be as hard. It could be. It pretty much could be. But I don't know if it'll be as hard or deadly or scary as most people think it might be week 1, because it's week 1. Now, if it was like week 5 or like week 3, I'd be like, it's going to be a tough game for Trask, because I would feel like by week 3 they'll probably be gelling good enough by that. Because again, their defense last year was terrible. Trask could eat that defense up. But this year, it should be a little bit better. They got some better pieces. They got some better talent, but they're going to be younger. So it should take them some time to adjust. So I wouldn't put it past it for Trask to actually look nice week 1 if we was to start Trask week 1. But I do hear what you guys are saying. CPG says we don't even play you guys until week 13 in December. So you think Trask will be quarterback by then? I don't know. I don't want to say I hope so, because if he's not, that means Baker's doing his thing, right? So I'm not gonna say that would sound like I want Baker to fail. I don't want Baker to fail. Like I don't care who's our quarterback. I just want whoever is our quarterback to be successful. That's it. And if I see that I don't think the man's successful, again, if Baker's our quarterback 1, and I personally feel like he's only quarterback 1 because he's looking as good as Trask, but it's because of preseason, and I feel like, bro, this is easy stuff. Baker this doesn't impress me by Baker. I'm gonna want Trask to be the guy. Now, if we go into the regular season and Trask is still looking good, I'm not going to be like, nope, I'm still waiting for Trask to be the guy. No, well, you know what? He proved me wrong. It wasn't just preseason. He's looking good in the regular season too. Hey, that's our quarterback. Let's roll with it. Let's win the division. Let's go. I'm ready to go. So Darius says the good thing is that Bowles is such a defensive guru. He'll be able to help Canellis with what to expect and where to attack opposing defenses. I think that's why they'll mend well together. Yes, yes. I've been saying this, and not only that, Darius, but I don't know if you've heard me say this before or thought about this or heard somebody else say this, but not only Todd Bowles helping Canellis, which is huge because that was one of my top 5 reasons why our season could go bad. Dave Canellis just being young at being an offensive coordinator and just not knowing how to do the job really good, and maybe the NFL being too much. We don't know. He's a big question mark as an offensive coordinator. But not only Todd Bowles helping him out, but Canellis helping Todd Bowles out. Todd Bowles has said many times that this offense looks more like the Rams offense than anything. Who are the offenses that we have problems with? The Rams offense, Kyle Shanahan's offense with the 49ers. Those are the offense we've had trouble with the most. So not only does Canellis, the Todd Bowles help Canellis be a better offensive coordinator and be prepared for the NFL, but Dave Canellis is helping Todd Bowles with that offense and giving Todd Bowles the jewels and the tips and the reason why Sean McVay does the things he does on certain plays on that with that offense, and why Kyle Shanahan does what he does with that offense. And I explained it as far as like Todd Bowles getting the last Todd Bowles being what's his name? Oh my gosh. Being Thanos and getting the last stone, and like, he feels like, on the gauntlet, like that was the last piece that Todd Bowles needed for the NFL. He shuts down all kind of offenses, but that Sean McVay / Kyle Shanahan type of offense, he has problems with. And now that Canellis is bringing that type of offense, because Todd Bowles says it's more of that type of offense, the Rams type of offense, now he gets to see the insides of how that offense works, what makes that offense tick. And like a mad scientist, now he gets to scheme up things like, okay, so when they're doing this, so why do they do this? Why is Sean McVay doing this to me right here? Oh, okay. So how is Sean McVay setting me up here? Oh, okay. So when they motion this, what is he really trying to? Oh, okay. Now Todd Bowles is getting the insides of that offense. So they're definitely helping out each other as much as possible, which I love. I think it's a perfect match. Buck One Kane One Year says Brady being 6'5" doesn't have that much to do with his success. His success has more to do with his form, cold veins, and knowledge of the game. Him being 6'5", about 5% of the reason he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Hey, we all got our things. I can't speak too much about it. I do think there's a lot of other things, but hey, some people have their measurables that they like. For instance, I love that Todd Bowles, when you talk about outside corners, listen, you gotta be a certain type of speed, and you got to be a certain type of height. Carlton Davis, listen, I don't think Carlton Davis was in Todd Bowles' plans. When Bruce Arians said, "Who do you like?" I don't think Carlton Davis was in Todd Bowles' plans for the future of his defense, because Carlton Davis is not the fast type of wide receivers they like. Look at everybody we draft, right? Zion McCollum, tall, linky, really fast. Jamel Dean, tall, linky, really fast. Well, he's not linky, but long and really fast. Carlton Davis, he got decent height and decent length, but he's not fast. But he developed so much as a good corner that I think Todd Bowles was like, you know what? Hey, we can roll with him. He's good. He's actually nice. So I personally believe that Carlton Davis was not in Todd Bowles' future when they first came to this team. But Carlton Davis progressed and was so good that they're like, he's actually a number one corner. Like, we can run. He's my guy. Like, I think he became Todd Bowles' guy. I think Todd Bowles on hot seat if he misses playoffs. Thank you for bringing that up. Bucks raise bolts in the building. Thank you for bringing that up, because this is another obstacle that people have been talking about that I don't buy into. People keep saying that if it's close, that they have to go with Baker. Or even if Baker's a little bit behind, they have to go with Baker. And the reason for that is because Todd Bowles is on the hot seat and Baker can't take that chance with Trask. I think that's false. A matter of fact, not I think, I know it's false, because Todd Bowles is going to go with the guy that they believe is going to give them the best opportunity. Period. It's not I can't take this chance with Trask. No. And not only that, but again, if Baker just seems to look a little better than Trask in preseason because he is a veteran and it is a vanilla defense he's going to be going through, and in preseason, Baker does look really good in preseason, and they decide to go with Baker, and week 4, Baker's out, or week 5, Baker's out and Trask is in, and we start seeing the development of Trask, I don't think that we're going to fire Bowles. I don't think Bowles is on the hot seat as much as people may think. I think if our defense has the same type of defense that we had last year, or even better, that like we're literally only winning or in games because of our defense. Hopefully that's not the situation, because I don't want to only be in games because of our defense the whole season. I want to be in games because of our offense as well. But if that's what we're seeing, that our defense is stout and Bo's got our defense cooking, right? And Trask comes in late and we start seeing like, oh yeah, we got something here. I don't think we let go of Bowles. I think we say, you know what? If we end the season, if we go in the middle of the season, and from there on out, Trask continues to prove that he's our guy, and we start winning games if let's say we play Baker all the way to the middle of the season, right? And through the middle of the season, through 8 games, we lose, let's say we lose 5 of them. We lose 5 of those 8 games, and we played Baker that whole time. And after that, we're like, okay, we're going with Trask the rest of the 8 games. And Trask in the last 8 games goes 6-2. Bowles is not getting fired. Even if we miss the playoffs, Bowles is not getting fired. I don't think Bowles is getting fired. But those are opinions. I don't know. We'll see as it goes down. You know, we talked about the media earlier and how the media likes to, if it was up to them, they would love to fire a coach and bring in a new coach every year, because that's more clicks. That's more Buck fans going on any site they can to figure out or find out more things about their coach, and media being able to just put out clickbait. Oh, we learned this about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, brand new coach. Oh, of course you're going to click. You want to see what can I expect? You know, we're clicking on everything right now because we don't know anything about the offense. We want to know as much as possible about the quarterback room. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the media people, once we know who the quarterback is, once we know what our offense is, we already know what the defense is, right? So we're not going to click on anything about the defense. We know what the defense is. Once that happens, they're not going to be able to clickbait as much, because why do I want to read about Canellis? I know what Canellis is. Why do I want to read about Trask? We know Trask is the starter. We know what Trask is. They're not going to be able to clickbait it as much. They're going to have to dig really deep for a good story for us to want to click. So it's a lot easier for them to just put out clickbait and just put out stories of things that we already know, and we'll still click on it because we're just so anxious to get information on something brand new that we have on the team. Kylie Buck says the Viking Stadium being loud is a bad take. The Florida Gator Stadium has 10,000 more seats and got rocking, bro. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up, Kylie Bucks. We got over 30. We got 31 people right now. Ladies and gentlemen, 31 people watching live right now. Shout out to everybody. Listen, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, please. Show the channel love. Hit the like button. It helps out everybody. It makes it shows the algorithm that you guys are interested, and it keeps throwing these videos and my channel out to other Buck fans. That way we could continue to grow the chat and everything, and it makes a better stream for us, because the more people we have in the chat, the more better it is for everybody. So If you're new to the channel, listen, subscribe, just keep listening. You'll understand. I don't even got to explain. You'll keep listening. Right now, we're having some really, really good Buccaneers discussion. And if you subscribe, make sure the notification bell's on all, because if it's not on all, you will not get notified when we go live and stuff like that. And trust me, you want to know. But we're having great discussion right now. We had a discussion about, does it matter if your quarterback's tall? We had that discussion in the comment section. Right now, we're talking about who's starting, Baker or Trask. Who do you think is going to win? Does it matter? Does it matter week 1 if Trask should start against the Vikings? Right now, Cali Bucks just brought up the thing of Viking Stadium being loud is a bad take. The Florida Gator Stadium has 10,000 more seats and got rocking too, and gets rocking too. Great point by Cali Bucks. This is something that was brought up in another channel that was like, Trask is not going to be scared of the lights. This is the benefits of drafting a quarterback that's from the SEC, right? You play big schools. Not only that, but your stadium and your seats bigger than NFL's. So when you talk about Trask coming from the Gators, I mean, again, we're not talking about a guy that just went through college and then we drafted him. We're talking about a quarterback in the SEC with all that going on, who was a backup, who came in after the starting guy got hurt. Talk about pressure, right? Don't mess up the season. The starting quarterback got hurt. Don't mess up the season. Came in after the starting guy got hurt, playing for the Gators. Not only that, all those fans, right? But not only just went through college, but was in the Heisman Trophy was in the running for the Heisman Trophy. And no, he wasn't in the running from the Heisman Trophy because he can run and all that. It was because of what he can strictly do in the pocket. One of his best games is against arguably one of the best colleges of football, Alabama. He picked them apart. So we're not, the thing about Trask that I feel like the ceiling is so high is there's a lot of things about him that's like we're just overlooking. Yes, he played with a lot of people watching. So going into a stadium, I don't think that's going to, wow, this is the big, he's going to look at it like, okay, yeah, it's football. I played with this many people before. And he has taken snaps. It was only a few snaps, but he played in the Falcons game. So it won't be his first time on the field, on the NFL field. So there's a lot of stuff, man. Like the dude has talent. We forget he has talent, bro. You do not go in the running for Heisman Trophy winner without being able to use your legs, because he's not that type of quarterback. You're not able to do that unless you have some type of arm talent. Unless you have some type of skill as a quarterback. You can't, there's no way you're in the runnings for a Heisman Trophy. Like, there's no way. Without using your legs, being a pocket passer? Being a pocket passer? Come on, man. Now you could say, oh, he had Kyle Pitts. He had Tre'Davious Tony Kadarius. Okay, he has Mike Evans. He has Chris Godwin. He has weapons here too. We're not asking him to sit here and try to make something happen like they're asking Bryce Young over there in Panther World with no freaking weapons. Hey, try to make something out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in a good spot. Great point, Cali Bucks. Buck 1K Near says most successful quarterback are under 6'5". Okay. Darius says 100. CPG, I think success with quarterbacks has more to do with how well they understand the X's and O's. Brady was good for so long because he knew exactly what to do, where to go with the ball, and what situation you're in. Cali Buck says, okay, first off, guys, of course, you have to be good at football. I'm not saying Trask can be average and ledger him because he's 6'5". I'm saying if your skills level is equal to being 6'5" is better. Okay, so yeah, so he's saying you, if you could choose, you would want your quarterback to be taller. I never said you can have no skill 6'5". Okay. Darius says Carlton Davis works because he can jam wide receivers at the line. If you have a great pass rush, those 1 or 2 seconds that he can delay a wide receiver on a route allows the DL to get more time for pressure. Yes, great point. Real OG says the Bucks posted the clips on their YouTube channel. The Bucks posted the clip on their YouTube channel. Of the Devontae whatever, Devin Tompkins. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Give me a second. We'll watch that right now. Let me catch up. Kelly says height is an advantage. Okay, he's still talking about that. I don't think he's on the hot seat either. He inherited BA's team without getting a chance to make his own changes, and they still won the division and made the playoffs. Exactly. How you get on the hot seat right after making the playoffs? Come on. And winning the division. Let's be honest. Black coaches are not given a long leash. They're expected to win. Darius says if the defense continues to be in the top half and the offense struggles, they give him one more year, perhaps with a new quarterback from the draft. 31 live viewers milestone. Yes, sir. That was definitely a milestone. We dropped back to 16, but it was definitely a milestone. Kyle Trask is learning how to pick defenses apart, and Baker is trying to do the only thing he knows how to do, which is solely rely on talent. I'm 24 minutes behind. LOL came in late. No worries, no worries. CPG, any thoughts on Deion Jones coming back to NFC South with the Panthers? I think he's a good fit. I think that's another piece of talent. I think there's a chance that you might have a gym there. He might be one of those players. Like he wasn't a problem, but he might be one of those players that you can mold if he's under the right coaching staff and end up rejuvenating his career. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, he was trash and we're not worried about it. He's fast. He's athletic. So if he has the right coaching staff, he could be. Put it like this: if the Bucks got him, I'd be like, we could replace Devin White with him. And we have the coaching staff that I believe we can develop players. I know my coaching staff develop players. So taking a risk on him, that's not a problem. Buck 1K 1 years. To add about Bowles, the Glazers and Light can't play scare and panic. Give the coach at least 3 years, 4 years with Bowles. First was a scratch year. Buck 1K 1 years. Only way to fire Bowles this year is the Bucks have a complete meltdown, like top 5 pick. Yeah, I agree. Rob Thompson, Devin Tompkins will be wide receiver number 3. Shout out to Rob Thompson in the building. We will see. We will see. I mean, listen, people are raving about him. Gary says comparing the UF Stadium to the Vikings is a bad take because fans are always less noisy when their own offense is on the field. As far as noise, it's not. We're not talking about. First of all, it's the Gators, right? We're not talking about when he's there, but he does play in the SEC, so he's in other people's territory as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, there. Like he's playing in other people's stadiums. He played against Alabama. You know what I'm saying? He played against other SECs in their stadium. So, but you are right about the noise. Got any word yet on Kalijah? Well, we already heard that it's pretty much 2 to 4. It's going to be 4 weeks, pretty much. That's where everyone's talking. They're saying it's going to be 4 weeks. He should be ready by week 1. There's a small chance he might be ready the week before week 1 of the regular season. And there's a small chance that we might have to wait just another week and he'll be playing week 2. So the timeline should be week 1 of regular season. He should be able to play week 1, but there's a small chance that we might be able to see him the week before that. And there's a small chance that we might have to see him a week after week 1. So that's the timeline right there, basically. Let's get into this video of that Baker Mayfield throw, and then we'll watch the what's it called of oh yeah. So you can see right there. You can see right there. It's a jump ball. I mean, he just came down with it. He's covered. I mean, it's pretty much what we said. He just came down with it. And he's just taking shots, man. He's just trying to have something. There you go. That's a better. Yeah, he made that, bro. Whew. So yeah. See that? That's a way better angle. Defenders right there. defender, I mean, if he plays it better, he should pick that off, to be honest. I mean, that's the definition of a jump ball. Look, two people right on him. I mean, that's just hoping that that's college ball, bro. That's Johnny Manziel throw to Mike Evans and let Mike Evans make you look like a #1 draft pick. That's what that is. That's what that is right there. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. All right. Well, we saw it. Thank you. Thank you, who was that? Was it Kelly Bucks? Big Al. Thank you, Big Al. No, was it? Who was it? Who told me that it was? Who just told me that it was on Oh, Real OG said it. Thank you, Real OG, for letting us see that. A lot of players going down all over the NFL. Cooper Kupp just left practice last night. Yeah. I got a feeling he'll be ready by the 3rd preseason game on the 26th. I would love that. I can see Tompkins being the #3 receiver. That boy going crazy out there. Yeah, man. Cali Bucks Tompkins did this last training camp. Can he actually contribute during the regular season, though? Yes. Last training camp, though, he had to take the back seat because, again, Julio. So Tompkins saved Baker with the leaping catch. Tompkins had to jump across Isaac to make that catch. Yeah. Why would they post that? LOL. That was a bad pass. Nah, but they're posting it for Tompkins. And Tompkins had both of DB's beat. Oh, did he? So, well, I don't know. All right. Well, let's get to this Dave Canales video. I don't even think I put it up. I know I didn't. Hold on. I got it. 1 second.
Morning.
Good morning.
Here we go.
You guys hanging in there? All right. Hope you still got a little juice left for the finisher here. All right. How we doing?
Your assessment so far, I guess we're 5 practices in, Kyle Trask, what you've seen from each, and where do they stand right now?
Yeah, it's good. So first couple of days, I think the experience that Baker brings, just playing in games, being in camps, going through installs, you could see where the offense was gelling really well. The timing of the snaps and all that's really critical for us. So probably a little bit of an edge for Baker to start off, just in terms of the smoothness of the offense. But it just took a couple of days for Kyle to really settle in.
So what he's saying there, basically OTAs is what he's saying. OTAs, he's a veteran. He already knows how an offense should feel, the smoothness of it, right? That's like we said, we already knew he's already ahead of, he's a veteran. He knows how this goes. Like, he knows how to be a starter. He knows how to command the huddle. He knows all that stuff. But he also said just took a couple of days for Kyle Trask.
We saw is the last 2 practices, Kyle really showed what he can do, stretching the field with his arm,
Stretching the
getting
field,
the ball out quickly,
getting the ball out quick.
So I'm really excited about both of those guys and the progression that they've made throughout the last couple of days.
Kyle talked about working on his fundamentals this offseason. The coach at Jacksonville worked on being a little less timid in the pocket and standing taller, but it seems like there have been some changes for him from the neck up. He's more decisive with the ball. It seems like it's coming out quicker. Have you seen that from him, and what would you attribute that to?
Yeah, he's mastering the concepts. And so the more that he can, in a pre-snap way, gather information and really start to progress. So, just in any pass concept, you may have as many as 3 or 4 progressions, but you don't have time to check all 3, kind of like a true sprinkler type of read. So where guys start to get comfortable and play fast is when they eliminate 1 and 2, they're getting to 3 and 4 in the same rhythm they would. So that's what I've been seeing from him that I'm excited about. And the other.
So let's break that down a little bit. This is where it gets interesting. What he's saying is, quarterback, you want a quarterback to read 1, 2, and 3 and 4, right? A lot of quarterbacks, they eliminate 4 and 3. And they tell quarterbacks they can't handle 4 and 3. They tell quarterbacks, just look at this route or just look at that route. That's it. They cut it short. They make it short. They make it easier for quarterbacks, right? And not only that, but even quarterbacks that can go 1, 2, 3, and 4 reads, even quarterbacks that do that, a lot of times there's not enough time to naturally, okay, no, it's not there. 2 is not there. 3 is not. In the NFL, you don't have enough time to do that. Even if you can read it, you usually don't have enough time to read it. So what he's saying is, what you would like to see and what he's starting to see from Kyle is that you're actually going through 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're doing it fast at where you can, okay, naturally you're nope. And then you let it go. Like, so you're reading it there. What he's getting his quarterbacks to do is he's getting his quarterbacks to be so comfortable with the scheme, so comfortable with what's going on that they're able to go through it fast. Boom, 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 real quick. And that's why they're saying they want their quarterbacks. I think he's about to say it. They want their quarterbacks to get rid of the ball in less than 3 seconds. 2.7 is the amount of time that they are shooting for. If it's under 3 seconds, that's good. 2.7 is the amount of time that they're shooting for. And they have Tom, who's sitting there with a watch. He's going to talk about it. Timing every throw, making sure, okay, he's getting rid of the ball fast. So that's another thing that Buck fans are not thinking about when watching and talking about this quarterback competition that coaches are thinking about that no one else is. So when they're sitting there saying, oh, Baker's throwing down the field, oh, Baker's doing this, oh, Baker's doing that, and Kyle Trask, he seems to be dinking and dunking. But meanwhile, the coaches are on the sideline going, 5 seconds. Okay, it took Baker 5 seconds. 4.5. 6 seconds. You got to get rid of it, Baker. And even though Trask is dinking and dunking or getting rid of the ball fast, they're like 2.7. 3.5. All right, you got to cut that down. They're seeing him get rid of the ball way faster. These are things that people are not thinking of. They're just looking at stats. How many incompletions? How many completions? How many touchdowns? How many interceptions? It's not all about stats. Sometimes they seeing, okay, we seeing who's using the play right. They're seeing who's using the system right, who's playing the system right.
What's happening with Kyle is, as I call a play, he's finishing the sentence before I can finish it. So that just speaks to like him studying the offense, studying the formations.
He's saying what's happening with Kyle. This is so huge, guys. This is what's happening with Kyle is as he's calling the play, as Kyle's hearing it, he's finishing the play. Like he's saying the rest of the play with him at the same time. Like, I already know what you're saying. As soon as you said I already knew you were gonna say Now that could be one or two things. It could be that he's hearing the play and he already knows the rest of the play, or it could be that he's hearing the play and he already knows what he's thinking. Because it could be like that he's naming the rest of the play. You get what I'm saying? Like the play, this play is called 92 hopscotch. You know what I'm saying? And when he says 92, he already knows the only play we have is 90. The only play that starts with 92 is hopscotch. Now, obviously, that's not how the play sounds, but I'm just giving an example. So it could be that he's saying whenever he hears 92, he already knows the only play that we have that has 92 in it is hopscotch. So as soon as he says 92, hopscotch. Yeah, okay, got it, coach. It could be that, or it could be a situation where it's like formation 92, hopscotch right stick. You know what I'm saying? And there's formation 92, hopscotch left stick, formation 92, hopscotch, end around or whatever. I'm just naming things, but the formation is 92. But depending on the down or distance or what down it is or the distance of the chains, he might be knowing what Dave Canellis likes to be calling in this situation. So it could be one or the other. It could just be simple. Oh, 92, I already know. 92 hopscotch is the only 92 we have. Or it could be, okay, it's third down, 5 yards. Okay, what is Dave Canellis going to go with? 92. Okay, 92 in this formation with this yardage or whatever. He likes to call this route hopscotch left stick. You know what I'm saying? So that would be crazy. If it's the second, That would be crazy. But if it's the first, that's good too. You know what I'm saying? He already understands. And the reason why Dave Canellis is bringing this up and talking about this is because this is a form of why Kyle Trask is able to go boom, 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 real quick and get rid of the ball and go through his progressions real quick. Because he's saying it shows that he knows the play, he knows the routes, he knows the schemes. He said it. Well, let me back it up again just so you can hear it one more time.
Fast is when they eliminate 1 and 2.
Eliminate 1
they're
and
getting
2.
to 3 and 4 in the same rhythm they would. So that's what I've been seeing from him that I'm excited about. And the other thing too is just, what's happening with Kyle is as I call a play, he's finishing the sentence before I can finish it. So that just, just speaks to like him studying the offense, studying the formations, and being really comfortable with what we're calling.
Studying the offense, studying the formation, and being real comfortable with what we're calling. That allows you to that allows you to go through your progressions real fast, which is why he literally brings this up after talking about what they want from their quarterback. What they want from their quarterback is to be able to go through 1 through 4. But naturally, when you go through 1 through 4, you don't have enough time in the NFL. So you're going to hope that they go through it real fast. And then he brings up this part about Kyle Trask, explaining why Kyle Trask is able to do this. Baker, I'm not saying you can't do this. I'm not saying you're not doing this. But if you're not thinking about this, Baker, take notes on this. This is the reason. This is why Kyle Trask seems to be having an easier time with this offense. When you have an easier time with the offense, you throw the ball and you put the ball in less harm's way. This is why we're having the practices that we're having with one and the other.
Rookie wide receivers, Braxton making big catches, Tay, Cade. What is it about your offensive system that allows them to play so fast, so quickly, really be on the same page with these quarterbacks?
Well, first I'll just give
Great
Brad
point, Darius.
some love. He does a fantastic job. He and Jeff Castle and David Rye are all in the receiver room. So you got 3 coaches that are in there really making sure that nobody gets left behind. So whether it's an extra 10 or 15 minutes with this guy or that guy. And then the intentionality of the install. So what we try to do is not overwhelm them with volume. Where in the past, you might be responsible for this entire playbook. We're going into our 7th practice right now. Well, if you break it up into smaller clusters, they can really focus on, say, 2 or 3 days at a time. And that really helps the young guys. This goes back to Pete, way back to USC. And his promise to a lot of the freshmen coming in is you're going to play. We don't expect you to know all the plays, but what you do well, we'll let you showcase that. And so that also followed us to Seattle. And we were able to get some guys to play early and be effective by not overwhelming them with too much.
That's awesome.
One thing on the quarterback situation. You're going into practice number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that?
And I love that he breaks it down, that he says it came from college. It came from USC. This is what they did with Pete Carroll and USC. This is how Pete Carroll went to USC and all of a sudden made USC like this monster, because all of a sudden he was bringing out superstars after superstars after superstars. And that was because he was just making it so easy. He knew what these guys did so well. He made it easy for them to just like, okay, this is what I do well, and this is all I got to know. Go out there and execute. Go out there and execute. And he brought that philosophy, even though I'm more than sure they expanded it a little bit more, because you need more than just a couple things in the NFL, but it's the same philosophy.
Is even tighter since day one?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think, we were in the spring right in this room talking about it, and just, the pros and cons of just naming a starter for the comfortability or playing this thing out. Well, I think what we're seeing is we're seeing a couple of guys who both have to put themselves in that starter mind frame going into the practices, knowing, hey, today's my day. I get to run with the ones. I get, maybe a few more reps. It's pretty much even when we go 1s and 2s the way we do it. But I just I see the 2 guys really challenging each other. And then the cool part is in our room, which a lot of people don't get to see and hear, is just rule number 1, we're here to help the Bucs win. So whatever that is, we do that. And then second rule is we help each other. So Coach Moore, myself, Thad Lewis, Jordan Somerville, the assistant quarterbacks coach. Now you got 4 coaches with 3 players. So we're all in there talking. If there's something that benefits the team on a play, somebody sees it and says it, so you see the guys helping each other. And it's really just elevating the room and the competition factor. Don't leave John Wolford out of the deal too. Like, he wants to make plays and he has his own style of doing it. He brings a lot to the table too. So it's a really, really good competitive cauldron that we're creating in there.
You got two Pro Bowlers on the offensive line in Works and Jensen. It would have been easy for you to sit there and say, okay, you guys are set at center and left tackle, and at left guard.
Listen how he breaks down why they have the starters and the O line, why they already named the starters on the O line and have them working together.
And let them build continuity
Mhm.
from day one, because that does take time. Can you just speak to that philosophy
Sure.
and how that is probably going to pay some dividends if all five of these guys do the job?
Sure. So, I mean, high hopes, right? That group just stays and plays, but we all know the NFL, and we know that different combinations get thrown in there. But I think what happens is it's a communication thing. So when guys get used to talking to certain players, then that communication becomes really fluid, really natural. They're used to this guy playing right next to him, and the combinations and the blocks, not just the verbal communication, but that physical communication where two people are working on one guy, comboing up to the second level. They start to get used to how he hits this guy onto me, or how this guy slows him down for this other combo to overtake it. So even if it doesn't end up being that combination, at least the work of it, the physical work of it, allows us to get good clips on film for us to study and to show the team, like, hey, this is a really good, etc.
Analytics or technology component is there to the quarterback competition? Like, are you able to track and practice who's releasing the ball quickly?
Yeah. So, I mean, we have the most experienced person in the building, Tom Moore. He's tracking the ball out every single play, every single pass. So whether it's 7-on-7 or team settings, he's sitting there and he's timing it. And I'm very critical on the quarterbacks in terms of getting the ball out, because we want to encourage our offensive line to be aggressive with their sets.
Yep.
To where they don't have to sit back and wait for the defense, see what they're going to do. Go get your hands on them. We're going to get the ball out. And so we commit to them to get the ball out in less than 3 seconds. 2.7 is our magic number. And if we get it out less than 3, if it's past 3 quarterbacks, you better be scrambling. So if you ever hear me yelling at practice, it's usually because we're beyond that 3-second point. And guys, you realistically don't have time to just sit here and pick the open guy. We got to move. We got to train our players to scramble. We got to train the defense to cover down when we break the pocket. So it all works together that way.
Yep.
At practice, is that more just to get the guys thinking less, or what's the philosophy behind that?
It's just a big part of what we do. So just making sure that every day has a little emphasis of the tempo. And then, to your point, if I feel the practice is starting to it's hot out there. And so if I feel like we're really starting to break the huddle slowly, I'll throw a tempo play in, and then everybody's just right back up, but we try to do it in a respectful manner with the defense, because it's not realistic as they rotate and sub people as well. So we try to let them get their call, get their eyes around, then let's go. And then that kind of trains the whole group to play faster, evaluate, diagnose, and then go from there.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Your excitement for Rashad White.
Oh,
What
man.
he can do.
Yeah.
Is everything-
This was all before the practice happened as
And
well.
yeah, I mean, just waiting.
This
to
was
see
before
somebody
they
more
went
play
out
from him,
and
but I mean,
practiced
he's
at
just so
night
natural.
inside.
Everything he does, the run game, the pass game, pass protection, routes, really natural with both hands catching the ball. I think he's going to be fantastic, so just my part and our part as a staff is making sure that we are able to take advantage of all the skill set that he brings.
What if so, does that complement his style as a slasher more than say a power scheme would?
I wouldn't say that. That's part of the him being such a natural is there really isn't a run type he hasn't shown to just kind of feel. He feels it really well. So he doesn't restrict us in what we can do in that regard.
And what about the rest of the running back room? I know it's kind of, him is kind of running back number one, but you've got some other guys in there. I know Sean Tucker's a guy we're just now starting to see, but
Yeah.
but just that whole group, him, Keyshawn Vaughn, just how things are kind of going with that.
Yeah, it's an exciting group. I mean, Sneak again. So the cool part about Sneak is he's got enough experience right now where any run type you give him, he really knows what it's designed to do. So he's got patience on the ones he needs to be patient.
Both of
He
them.
gets it fast on the ones he needs to. So he's exciting. Chase Edmonds, was a glorified slot receiver in Arizona. coached against him, or really just watched him play, for a bunch of years while he was there, and he's lightning in a bottle. I mean, he just shot out of a cannon, and he can do as much as a lot of our slot receivers do too. So he's a really dangerous asset for us. You talked about Sean. What I'm noticing about Sean Tucker is um, he's got another gear. So he's probably the fastest guy we have in the room, and he's really got some suddenness to him.
It's gonna
Patrick
be
Blair
very
does everything
fun.
right. He's the guy that's like tapping me on the shoulders, like, hey, you know, on this in the spring we had this route on this concept. Is that what you want? The drawing was this. Yes, that's right. So he's on top of all that. And then Ronnie Brown. I think what you're going to see is we're going to play Ronnie a lot in the preseason. We're going to play all our guys, and he's got a real skill set too in the run game and the pass game. He had a lot of carries. Was it Shepard, I believe? And so he had a phenomenal tape. If you ever get a chance to watch his highlight film on YouTube or some, if you have a second, it's pretty fun. And he's got personality too. He brings a lot of good juice to the room.
So that's gonna be fun to watch, that running back room. Obviously, we shouldn't see a lot of Rashad. We probably gonna see a decent amount of Vaughn, but we're gonna see a lot of Lair. We're gonna see a lot of Sean Tucker, and we're gonna see a lot of Brown. So that's gonna just watching those guys, and I like all of them. I do. I like all of them. I really don't. Besides Edmonds, which Edmonds got the speed, so does Tucker. Um, the only thing about Edmonds is that we know he's gonna get hurt. So it's kind of like if he makes the team, I kind of feel like not. And again, nothing against Edmonds, but I would feel better. I'll say that. I not that I rather. I would feel better if he got flat out beat out by somebody else that we don't know about their injury history. Because Chase Edmonds is what it is. But it is what it. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But who knows? Maybe we see the preseason and I'm like, nah, we got to have that man on the roster. So let's see how that plays out.
We have some defensive players like Anton Winfield that have said they're very complimentary of your scheme and the looks that you're giving them. So what have you learned from Tom Bolton?
Listen to what he says about Antoine.
Against it in practice, and how have you applied that maybe to what you're building?
Well, I don't want to speak too much about the defense. You guys just had Casey in here, but really, for the most part, just the effort and the way they play together, they talk. That's one of the big things. They communicate. They're always talking. And Antoine, he's a quarterback on the field, and so he's yelling out the plays. He's starting to get, picking up where we're at, why we're doing it. Here comes a jet sweep, and he's like, there's only a couple things they've been doing out of this formation. He's all over it, And so we've had some good conversations there, and then just the corners and the nickels too, just trying to evaluate how we're trying to attack them in the run game or the pass game. So, and it's just a good group of dudes. So had a good chance to get a little crossover time, in practice, in the cafeteria, just try to build a team right now.
So again, we're honest here on this channel, right? I try to tell you guys everything, whether it's good or bad. And him saying that he's already dissecting. Oh, they only run a few things out of this formation. Obviously, that should get people worried, right? Everyone talked about Byron. Oh, every time so-and-so's in the slide, it's a bubble screen. So stuff like that makes you worried. But then you sit back and you say, okay, it's only week one. Dave has already talked about how they're taking things slow. Baker, I believe it was Baker, even said the same thing. Like most people, they give you too much stuff. They start, oh, let's give him this, let's give him that, let's give him that. But here with Dave, they're like, okay, let's run this again. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, let's run this again. Do you got it? Okay, we're gonna go to the next part. And they slowly installing everything. So they're slowly installing everything and hope. And again, it feels like we've been in training camp for a month. It's only been 1 week of training camp. Like we're now getting after today's the break. Tomorrow is going to be the start of week 2 of training camp. Like it feels like we've been in it for a month, but it's so early. It's only 1 week. This is why the quarterback competition is still up in the air. This is why, what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, they still got a lot of things to install and they're just taking it really slow. And I'm more than sure, obviously, right, the second week they'd be able to pick it up a little bit more because you're more comfortable of the basis of everything. And then after week 2, week 3, they'll be able to pick it up a little bit faster because you're used to it. You understand the offense. Now it seems like when you go into the next year's training camp and you already know the defense, you're just learning the wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? So it should pick up more and more, and there'll be more things. So it did get me a little bit worried when he said that Antoine's already like, oh, they only run a few plays off of this formation. That, you know, you're like, whoa, what? Like, he already figured that out? Like, well, I mean, NFL's gonna figure that out fast. So gives me a cause to pause, but it's only 1 week. We'll see. Let's hopefully that's not a thing.
Really has not gotten a lot of pub or play, but yet you have experience with him from Seattle.
Yeah.
He's got an interesting body type, 6'2", 220. He's a bigger type receiver, not tall, but just physical. But what, you know, he had a couple of touchdowns the other day. What has he shown you so far?
Just his contact balance. So what I'm saying is just anytime someone's leaning on him, balls
David
in the
Moore.
air, he really doesn't get affected because he's so strong. And then I think the thing we haven't really been able to showcase that he can do is he's special with the ball. So a lot of perimeter screens and jet sweep type of things on the
Really?
perimeter. He can really make yards in different ways as well. But he was a solid guy for us in Seattle. You know, he's got banged around a little bit with some injuries and some different situations in some places, but came in here with the brand new start, fresh attitude, and he kind of had a little
So
bit of an edge.
I've
'cause
heard
he
people
knew
say
some of our
he's
terms,
definitely going to make the
going
team.
into camp. So
I've heard people say he ain't
and,
going to
you
make
know,
the team.
and I love him. He's just a great
So
guy.
I
He's
don't
great for the
exactly know
room.
how his training camp
He's
is
fun to
going.
be around, and I'm glad he's here.
What were some of the factors of moving Gedke from guard to tackle?
Just necessity, right? So, and you know, he played tackle before, so there's a level of comfort for him. But he's such a great athlete out there. You know, I really feel great about our tackle situation with Tristan and with Luke right now, and it really gives you the ability, the feeling you can really run, any direction. And in the pass protection stuff, you know, they're both kind of playing new positions ish, and so they're still just getting comfortable in their sets and doing all that, but you know, we're not going to sit back there and drop back 50 times a game and really force them to
We
do
never
that.
put the
We're gonna stick to
rhythm
our
or the
strengths
ticker.
and both of them really get after it in the run game. So
Completely forgot about that.
A quarterback. Straussy Dennis was a 4-year quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of plays.
Yeah, he's
About 4 interceptions I've counted, 2 in training camp. Just what qualities, and again, I know you're watching the offense.
Yeah.
Just what makes him so difficult to look against?
Yeah, his eyes. He's just, you know, he knows where he's supposed to be first and foremost. So he's in great position, but then he's got a real suddenness to the ball. He tracks the quarterback's eyes, and he's making, you know, just football quarterback 101. Start with your eyes down the middle to hold the Mike linebacker, and you know, if we start staring routes down, he undercuts things. And
Talking
he's
about
got great hands.
Servassier.
It's not just his eyes and intelligence, but you have to be able to catch the ball too. So he's got a lot of that. He's a pretty good player.
David Wells is
Wide receiver- with wide receivers?
David Wells has been a surprise at number 2.
Yeah.
You know, at number 2 tight end. What do you like in him? What have you seen from him that's given him maybe an edge over the other competitors?
Just versatility. You know, you look for, that's like the number one word for tight end is versatility. So for him to be able to play in the box and then just in those passing situations, which a lot of you have seen at practices, he's making plays down the field, making plays short. He separates, and he's just consistently doing the right thing. So he's going to give himself a really good chance to help us.
You know Chris.
Yeah.
I know Gage Server. I know he's out there.
Yeah.
Who else should we be aware of that's caught your eye at the wide receiver spot?
Oh, Trey Palmer for sure. Talked about David Moore. He's been doing fantastic.
Trey Palmer hasn't really showed us a lot, but he's making the team. Dave Canellis loves Trey Palmer. This is the second or third time where they've asked him this question about who should we look at, and the very first person he says is Trey Palmer. So I don't know if they're hiding Trey Palmer, or I don't know what's going on, because we don't really hear a lot of, oh, Trey Palmer. We don't really hear a lot of that when we're listening to red zones and 11 on 11s and stuff. We hear it here and there, but we hear a lot more Tompkins. We hear a lot of David Wells. I don't know, but every time they ask him this question, his eyeballs light up, and the first person he says is Trey Palmer for sure, and then he goes down the list. So he's definitely going to have some packages.
He's got a real skill set, you know, and is got some power too, and some things that he can do with the ball as well.
Appreciate it, Cali
that I'm
Bucks.
excited to see.
We're about to get out of here soon.
Devin Tompkins is just like, he's so fast, and we finally got to one-on-ones, and we just had a fun time as a group watching a few of those reps, and see him fly around the field is amazing. Kalen Geiger can really just drop down, stop on a dime, and showed some ability there. Cade's got a great feel for just getting open. Ryan Miller has done a fantastic job, just doing what he's supposed to do. He makes big plays, played tight end in college too, so he's got a lot of that same thing I was saying about David Moore, just with that, contact balance and play strength, that we're excited about. And then Tay Barber, he's still catching up a little bit with the system, but Tay will have flashes where when you see his ability, he's a really natural slot player, really natural receiver, that we're excited about as well. Did I leave anybody out? Those are our guys. Yeah, it's a good. Yep. Appreciate you. Okay.
All right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Make sure you help out the channel. Do your part, man. Help out the channel, because this channel will not grow without you guys. So do your part. Hit the like button. If you really feeling the content, share the content with, Facebook groups, Twitter, whatever. And if you, wherever there's other Buck fans that are going to appreciate this Buccaneers talk, because here we talk, all of us, it's all of our opinions. We try to listen to everybody's opinions, see where the point of view is coming from. Listen, that's what it's all about, man. We try to break things down, feel the vibes, and the more you guys come to this channel and see what I'm about and what this channel is about, you guys are going to like it. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. You do not want to miss what we got coming. I mean, this is going to be a great season for us. Make sure when you hit the subscribe button that you put the notification bell on all. If the notification bell is not on all, you will not be notified when we go live, when we put things in the community chat. And you want to be notified. We still have a raffle giveaway coming up, because we surpassed 100 subscribers. Where are we at right now? We're at 115. We got 115 subscribers now. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's been showing love and that's been subscribing. And sharing the content. Again, we're getting lots of love from people on Facebook, lots of love from people on Twitter, YouTube. Everyone's showing love and doing their part. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all you guys doing that. Guys got to remind me to do the rhythm and the ticker, because we didn't have no rhythm in the background. We didn't have the ticker on for a little bit for the whole time. So guys got to remind me. I'm trying to remind myself. I'd be forgetting. But anyways, I appreciate everybody that came on here today. But we had some really good talk today. I ain't gonna lie. We had a really good back and forth in the comment section. Really good talk. Let's see. It's Kyle Trask with 52, Baker Mayfield with 48%. 29 votes. 29 votes, and Trask is barely up by 52%. Mayfield is down 48%. For the question, who do you think wins QB1? Now, again, that's pretty darn close, and it should be, because it's a close race. We said it earlier. There's no more, Baker. I mean, there's no more Trask on this channel. It kind of seemed like that in the beginning, and the only reason was I was trying to convince Buck Nation and convince you guys. Listen, this is a real competition. Do not give your hopes up thinking it's all Baker. This is a real competition. The competition has gotten to a point now where people went and watched the training camp and was able to go visit it and see it for themselves in their own eyes. And now we're at a point where everybody knows this is a real competition, and Trask does have a real shot at winning this competition. So now we're at the point where it's not Trask. Believe me shaking you guys. Believe me, Trask can win it. We all know it's possible. Now we can come here as Buck Nation and just let's talk about it. What are we seeing? What are we liking? What are we not liking? Okay, what's the good about this? What's the bad about this? How do we get better here? How do we get better there? Did we get worse here? We gotta turn over every rock on this channel. That's what we do here. Turn over every rock. It's not just about, yeah, we're the best. We're gonna win the division. Yeah, we're the best. Everybody sucks. We're great. We don't do that here. Not anymore. We don't do that here on this channel. This is a new channel, new era. We're here We got to be real with ourselves. I've said it before. The thing I hated the most back when I started my first channel back in 2012, the thing I hated the most was believing that we were good, believing that we could do something, and then we go out there on Sunday and get our butts kicked. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I want to know, not just getting our butts kicked, but being blindsided by it. So I found that it's way better when something goes wrong for us to go, yeah, we thought that there was a chance that that could happen. Because when we feel like that, like we thought there was a chance that that could happen, and it happens, it doesn't hurt as bad. It doesn't feel as bad as just blindly thinking we're the best. Oh, yeah, we're just going to throw all over you. We're going to throw all over. And then all of a sudden we just get skunked. Like, what happened? I could have sworn we were better than this. I hate that feeling. So we try as much as possible on this channel to look under every rock, every stone unturned, not to leave any stone unturned, and to make sure that we see the good and everything that could possibly be good, and the bad and everything that could possibly go wrong. And we just go into the season prepared. We'll be watching the games live on this channel, all that stuff, man. We this is it, man. We're gonna communicate. Let's continue to grow this channel. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys the next time I see you. Remember, it's pewter and red till we're cold and dead. I'll see you next time we see you. Deuce.